Thank you, Nanda. Thank you very much, Pella. And I want to thank Telecom Indonesia for hosting tonight. This is a great facility. So there's a lot of cameras. There's a lot of cameras. Okay, lots of cameras. Yeah, well, not that photogenic though. So I think I'm going to stay up so you can see me. Well, thanks very much. I'm very flattered that you all came out tonight. You're doing lots of things. But thank you. I have been instructed many times by our people to go slowly because I tend to go very fast. So if I go too fast, just wave at me and let me know that I'm going too fast, and I'll try to make sure that I keep it under. So, a unique role. You don't realize it, but right now I'm picking your brains. Because I want to understand what life is like here and how social media is changing things here and how it's different than the US. Because I know it's not the same. So the trends, but I think the trends are global. And I think that if you look around you at the people who you know and you love, and you ask them what they do in their lives, or where you watch people, you'll see the trends. One of the places where I go to study trends is the airplane. So I mentioned I fly a lot, and I fly a lot in the US cross-country. And we're blessed in the US. We have Wi-Fi on cross-country flights. I hope you get it here one day. Well, I imagine the water might make that difficult. But it's wonderful because we literally, it has pretty much killed the only sanctuary we had from email. And I go, when I have to go to the bathroom, I use that as my study time. I will go up and down, and I will look at every single aisle on the airplane. And I will see what every single person is using. And I will count up how many Kindles did I see, how many laptops did I see, and what are on those laptops, who's on Facebook, how many iPhones did I see, how many PSPs did I see. And I kind of make notes of how people use that. And I go and I talk to people. I'll talk to everyone from my sister-in-law, who's a stay-at-home mom, to Robert Scoble, who's an Uber geek. And I'll ask him, what are they using? And I try to get a picture of that. As I've done that, I've noticed 3 trends that I want to talk to you about today. And I'm going to talk to you about what they mean for marketers, media, but also I want you to think about what they mean for you and your business, but also what they mean for you if you want to be an influencer. I know a lot of you like to be influencers. So that's what I'm going to talk about today and what they mean. So focus on the trends. Don't get too hung up on the technologies, but think about how the technologies, make this go faster. How you use the technologies to take advantage of the trends. That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, first thing I want to talk about is the whole concept of, ladies and gentlemen, give it a hand for Edelman. He's got the magic finger, the magic touch. Okay? So, the first thing I want to talk about is streams. So, the web is changing, and we don't even realize it, but it's changing. I've been online since 1988, and that's a long time. And, I've noticed, especially from like 1995 to sometime last year, I would go from website to website to website. So I would go from, to CNN.com, and then I would go to NewYorkTimes.com, and then I would go to, I would go to Google Reader, or I would go to, Gmail. I would go from site to site to site to site. And a friend of mine, Om Malik, who's a well-known tech blogger, calls this the destination web. That we would go to a destination and do something. Well, he told me, and I agree, that the destination web is dying. Everything now is a stream. And this is like, a sushi shop where we buy at 100 miles an hour, going by very, very fast. And the streams are Twitter, Facebook, but also Google News, also Yahoo News, and even sites like CNN or New York Times in the US that organize their content now more by date, not just by organization, not just by kind of what's the top story. So the web is becoming a stream that we dip in and dip out all day long. And that's going to present some tremendous challenges to anybody who covets attention. Anybody who wants attention is going to be faced with this dilemma. Now, I don't care if you are an individual who wants attention, or you're a business who is thinking about how to market yourself, or you're a media company. You're all going to be facing a lot of competition as the web changes into this new metaphor. So the challenge that we all face is this: the fire hydrant or the fire hose. I'm curious here, how many people get more than 100 emails a day? Anybody? Okay, about 20% of you looks like. Okay. Well, in the U.S., that's very common, especially in business, getting more than 100 emails. Let me ask it another way. How many of you get more than 100 text messages a day? Anybody? SMS text message. So, well, I think that all of us are going to be facing more and more things vying for our attention. And that's going to be SMSs, tweets, Facebook status updates, blog posts, news stories, IMs, emails, you name it. This is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's going to try to capture your attention. The problem is, though, that your brain and my brain are only so big. It can only hold so much. So even if you have a lot of friends on Facebook, let's say, you can actually only follow, you really only in your headspace can manage 150 friendships. There's something called Dunbar's Law that says that the average individual can only conceptually manage in their head, 150 connections. So you may follow 3,000 people on Twitter. You really only can manage 150 of those people in your headspace. So we're all competing for this. We're all trying to get in there. So, and mobile makes it worse, not better. This is a screenshot of somebody's iPhone. Okay, this is one person's iPhone. They took all the screens,